Hello, my name is Adrian. Today we are going to be making an apple pie. For the apple pie we're going to need a half a cup of sugar, a half a cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, which is right here, quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg, quarter teaspoon of ground ginger also, 6 to 7 cups of thinly sliced peeled tart apples. In this case we're going to be using Granny Smith apples. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. A pastry for double crust pie, which is pie crust, which is right here. We're going to combine the sugars, we're going to combine the flour and the spices, and we're going to set that aside for later. In this large bowl, we're going to toss the apple with lemon juice, so we're just going to mix those two together. Add sugar and toss to coat, which means you're just going to beat it with your hand. You're going to, second of all, we're going to bake it at 375 degrees for 25 minutes. We're going to remove the foil off the pan, and we're going to bake it for 20 to 25 minutes, or longer, until crust is golden brown. Okay, first thing you need to do is mix a half a cup of sugar into here, so just measure out a half a cup, is what I'm doing right now. Okay, after you've done that, make sure it's half a cup. Yep, you can pour that in there, and do the same as that. Wow, that was perfect. Cool. You also need 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Kids again, it's hungry. Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Okay. Now next we're going to have a quarter teaspoon of ground ginger. Okay. Right there, and then we're going to have another quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Okay, we're going to add 6 to 7 cups of thinly sliced peeled apples. So we're going to need to peel the apples, which we're going to use a potato peeler, I guess, for this, and we're just going to peel the skin off, like so. I'm horrible at this, by the way. Okay, next up, we're going to cut the apples really thin. So we're going to cut them at 1/8 of an inch, which is about yay thick, I guess, until you reach the core, which is about right there. So after you slice all the apples, you want to put them in a separate bowl, a big bowl, I should say. So we're going to mix a tablespoon with this, a tablespoon of lemon juice with this, sorry. So the next step after we do that is to come and get our pie crusts and let them thaw out. Okay. So next we're going to have to mix our mixture together. So to do that we're going to get a spoon, just lightly mix. Okay, that looks good enough right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add half these apples first, like in this bowl. Just put them in there like so, just a little bit more.
Don't dump them.
So when we put them in there, put half of it. Okay, we're going to put the other half of apples. And put the other half of this mixture in there. Now, after that, we're going to just mix this with our hands. looks pretty good right there. Okay, so next we're gonna have to roll out our pie crusts, but before we do that, we're gonna wash our hands because it's really dirty. And then we're going to gently roll out our pie crusts. So our next step is to put the pie crust in the pie. So we're going to gently lift this up. So you want to have it perfect to where there's no lumps like this. I mean, I guess you can have some lumps, but... So next we're going to mix our little concoction here with this pie crust. So we're going to add as much as we can because I already know that this is way too much. So we're going to take it out with our hands instead because that's a better option. We're just going to pat it down. Yes, I did wash my hands before I did this. Yeah, stuck on an apple. Okay. So we're just going to add a little bit more apple to it, just to make it look like a mountain, sort of. It's just, and we got to make sure there's no apples on the outer edges also. It's like a little hill. Yeah, so now we're going to add this pie crust to the top of that. But first we got to get this wet. So we just got to, what we're going to do is going to wet this edges of this pie crust. Okay, then we're going to carry this over here. So now we're going to add the pie crust, like I said before. So we're just going to lift this up. Like so. Lay this gently over the top. Make sure it's nice and even. The reason we put that water there is because we can now pinch the sides to make it stay flat, which I probably shouldn't do this. I just made a big mess. Okay. Pinch the sides. Okay, so now we're going to cut off the edges. So we're just going to grab this handy dandy knife right here, and we're going to cut about 1/4 inch away from the very end of the pie crust. So. Okay, so we cut across. Just take out the excess part of this pie. Then after we're going to use the butt of this knife, and we're going to pinch it again, and we're going to make a pattern all the way around. So our next step is to use the white of the egg to put on top of the pie crust. And so we're going to do that now. So what you're going to do is slightly tap the top of this until it cracks open. You're going to peel the top off. You're just going to let the white drip out. Speeding up the process here. So next we're going to beat the white of the egg. So now we're just going, since this is foamy, I'm going to take this out, put it right there for now. And we're going to bring our pie and take this little thing, take this brush, and lightly brush it down because you want to get it all. Okay. So now after that, we're going to take these natural sugar packets and sprinkle it on there. Just on the top. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put 3 on here. Okay. One more. Okay, next we're going to have to take this aluminum foil and put it around the side of the pie, just to make sure the edges won't burn as much. And after we put this on here, we're going to bake this for 25 minutes. Okay, so just before we put it in the oven, we need to make vents so the pie doesn't explode while in the oven. Just any knife out of here. Take this one, polka dot, and cut holes. Okay, so then we're done. You're gonna see my glasses fog up immediately when I open the oven. So, pizzazz. Like that. Didn't really fog up as much. So, put that in there, like so. So now we gotta set the timer for exactly 25 minutes. So let me do that right now. Okay, just count down now. So now that we have the aluminum foil, So now that the timer's ended, we're going to have to take off the aluminum foil and put it back again. So, take off the aluminum foil. So we just did that. Now we're going to put the timer back on for exactly 25 minutes. Okay, so now the pie's done, and we're going to turn the timer off and the oven off. So put the open thing, or glow on. Our amazing looking pie, I guess. So it's gonna take about an hour for it to cool down, and we're just gonna leave it on this rack right here until it's done. So that was my how-to on how to make a pie.